how teachers from rural schools are getting help to teach kids. In rural elementary schools, there are often only a handful of students, sometimes as few as 10 in a school. Students even have a class just to themselves. You might think that this means their teachers have less work to do, but actually, this isn't the case. Instead, it means that teachers have to teach many different subjects. They often have to take on extra responsibilities, such as handling non-teaching tasks. This often includes providing care for students in a similar way to family members. Rural schools often serve students from disadvantaged backgrounds. These students may be raised by grandparents or live in single-parent homes. They may also have parents working in the city that cannot pick them up from school after work. As a result, rural schools often have after-school programs that the daytime teachers must also teach. Rural schools often also hold courses during the winter and summer vacations to offer a more comprehensive education. No matter how easy it might seem, the work of a rural teacher is not easier than that of their urban counterparts.
Welcome everyone to English for You. My name is Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And Elsie, you went to a pretty big high school and grade school, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to a public one.
Oh, okay. So a lot of people probably in Taipei, public and private high schools even. Well, everyone, in today's article, we are going to hear how teachers from rural schools are getting help to teach kids. And starting into our article, it says, in rural elementary schools, there are often only a handful of students, sometimes as few as 10 in a school.
Only 10?
Yeah, that's not a lot of students. I mean, in most classes in Taipei, I imagine they have twice that amount, maybe 7 handfuls.
Right.
And in that sentence, everyone, we see the word handful. Handful is a noun, and it's an amount of something that can be held in one hand. The phrase, a handful of something, means a small number of something held in a hand. So an example we could use is, I grabbed a handful of candy from the jar.
OK, 我们首先看到这个名词呢是 handful， 它代表的是少量或是少数的某物。那你看到它的前半是 hand， 也就是 H-A-N-D， 是个手，所以它代表的是一手抓起来差不多的数量，那是并不多的哦。好，所以如果我们说 a handful of something， 那就是少量的某个东西。所以在台湾的偏乡小学生啊，通常整个学校只有少数。有的时候呢，只有差不多10位学生而已哦。And these students are just in one class, right?
That's exactly right. And the article continues by saying, students even have a class just to themselves. Wow, so to have something all to oneself means to have something just for you.
对呀，学生们可以独享整个班级哦。That might be nice if you are a teacher, right? Only having to teach maybe 2 or 4 students all year.
Yeah, well, slow down there, Elsie. I was thinking the same thing, but our article says you might think that this means their teachers have less work to do, but actually, this isn't the case. And in that, we see be the case. So be verb, the case, which means something that is true or happening, or in this case, something that is not true or maybe not happening.
对，所以我们说 this isn't the case， 那就是情况并非如此。不是学生少，老师们就轻松哦。They actually have a lot to do.
Right. And getting back to our article, it says, instead, it means that teachers have to teach many different subjects. Oh my gosh. So, maybe, Elsie, some teachers might have to teach math, PE, English, Chinese, history. There's no way I could teach that many subjects.
I couldn't either. I only know how to teach English. If you want me to teach math, there's no way.
Exactly.
Right, so teaching is not the only thing they have to do, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. These teachers have to do more than most. and it says they often have to take on extra responsibilities, such as handling non-teaching tasks. Oh my gosh. Well, to take on something is to accept or assume a task, responsibility, or challenge.
To take on something, 那就是承担某个责任。所以我们在后方看到了 responsibilities 这个字，那就是责任咯。
Yeah, so they have to take on, all these teachers have to take on extra responsibilities. And then we see the word responsibility, which is a noun, and it means something you are in charge of doing or taking care of. So everyone, an example sentence we could say is, taking care of a dog comes with feeding and walking responsibilities.
没错，你要养狗，你就必须要去担任这个喂食它跟遛它的这个责任。所以啊 take on extra responsibilities 那就是承担额外的责任。那负责任的这个形容词呢是 responsible， 所以我们说对某事负责，那就是 be responsible for something. For example, my husband is responsible for feeding our cat every morning. 代表他每天早上要做的事情，要负的责任就是喂食我们家的猫。好，那如果是不负责任的话呢，你在字首加上 ir 就可以了，就变成 irresponsible 这个字。So, what else are they responsible for?
Good question. It says this often includes providing care for students in a similar way to family members. Oh, so they provide care. So provide, everyone, is a verb, and it means to give something that is asked for or needed. So an example is the school provides books and supplies for all the students.
Okay, so their teachers are like their family members. 老师就像家人们一样，要提供照顾。
Right. Some of them are like maybe their mother that are just very caring and have to take care of, like we said, a lot of the responsibilities.
Yeah, so there's a reason for this.
Exactly. Rural schools often serve students from disadvantaged backgrounds. And there we see background, which is a noun. It's the conditions that form the setting within which something is experienced. Or, you guys, a simple way to understand this is background means things around you that make a situation. So, an example we could say is the police officer examined the suspect's background to find clues about why he committed such a terrible crime.
我们看到 background 这个字啊，刚刚说了它是背景或是经历，好，是个名词。那这边用了一个形容词来形容它，这个形容词是 disadvantaged， 那就是处于劣势的。那如果你要来讲缺点或是劣势的话，你要用名词，那就把字尾的 d 给拿掉，那就是 disadvantage。那相反，优势优点，那就是 advantage. So what type of family do they belong to?
Good question. It says, these students may be raised by grandparents or live in single-parent homes.
那他们呢，可能来自隔代教养或者是单亲家庭。
Yeah, it continues by saying they may also have parents working in the city that cannot pick them up from school after work.
或者是呢，他们的父母在别的城市工作，所以无法亲自接送。
I mean, everyone, I know for me and for you, Elsie, I know both my parents worked, and luckily for us, there was, an after-school program where we as students could, play and even work on our homework as we wait for our mom and dad to pick us up. And even now, this is quite common, even in schools that are in areas of the city, too.
Right, so here in Taipei or other big cities, students go to 补习班 or 安亲班, but in rural areas, they probably can only stay at school.
Yeah, for the whole day. And it says, our article continues by saying, as a result, rural schools often have after-school programs that the daytime teachers must also teach. Oh, wow. So as a result, we see there, it means something happens because of a previous action or situation.
As a result 代表就是因此，好，会带出结果。所以前面你会看到原因，然后后面你会看到结果。
And, some of these after-school programs, can be, very useful, such as learning things such as foreign languages, sports, and arts.
Yeah, so more responsibilities for the teachers.
Yeah, these teachers are not getting off too easily, right? It continues to say, everyone, rural schools often also hold courses during the winter and summer vacations to offer a more comprehensive education. And in that sentence, we see education, which is a noun. It's the learning and gaining of knowledge at school or through other experiences. So an example would be reading books and asking questions are important parts of gaining a good education.
对，教育就是用 education 这个字来代表。那这边前面还有一个形容词是 comprehensive， 这个形容词代表是综合的或是包罗广泛的。那寒假或暑假的时候呢，学校也需要提供学生多元的教育内容。
Right, and getting back to our article, it says, no matter how easy it might seem, the work of a rural teacher is not easier than that of their urban counterparts.
那在这边呢，我们看到今天的 Language in Focus， 我们先来看一下吧。在今天的 Language in Focus 里头啊，我们要来讲的是 no matter 加上疑问词的用法。no matter 加上疑问词呢，可以形成从属连接词引导副词子句，可以修饰主要子句。那它的意义就是无论点点点，所以句型是 no matter 后面加上可能有 what, where, who, when, which, whom 或是 how， 选一个之后呢，再加上形容词或是一个副词，后方再接主词跟一个动词。那动词可以是一般动词或是 be 动词也可以。So for example, no matter what you say, I'll still be friends with him. 不论你说什么，无论你怎么说，我还是要跟他当朋友。那第二个呢，我们要看到的是，当疑问词做主词而非受词的时候，句型就会变成 no matter what 或是 who 或是 which 加上动词。No matter who shows up at my birthday party, I'll be happy. 无论谁来我的生日派对，我都会开心。那第三个呢，它的用法是 no matter 加上疑问词，可以用疑问词加 ever 来代替。给同学们3个例子咯，像是 no matter what 可以用 whatever 来代替， no matter who 可以用 whoever， 那 no matter where 就可以变成wherever. So, no matter what you say, I'll still be friends with him. 这句也可以说Whatever you say, I'll still be friends with him.
Here, also in that sentence, we saw the word urban. Urban is an adjective, and it means it's related to cities or bigger towns, not the countryside. So a lot of times, I'm from an urban area, so I'm from a densely populated city. So an example sentence we could say is, many people prefer the urban lifestyle for its convenience and entertainment options.
Urban 这个形容词呢，就是城市的。那后方还有一个字是 counterpart， 这个代表是职务相当的人，所以 urban counterparts 那就指的是在城市里面的老师。所以呢，课文最后有说到，不管如何，在偏远地区的老师并不比在城市里面的来得轻松。So in your opinion, Adam, which one has an easier job?
Well, I would have said originally, being a rural school teacher would be easy. You just get to have a couple students and then, let them go outside to play and maybe not do that much work. But after reading this and listening to this, they have a lot more responsibilities than probably their urban counterparts. So a lot of those city teachers have.
Right, and they have to teach so many different subjects.
Yeah, like I said before, I can't imagine going from math class and then teaching history class.
Can you imagine you teach math?
Oh, no, I'm terrible at math. I'm
terrible at math too, so there's no way that we can do it, right?
No, we would need extra help. We'd have to have someone come in, or we could teach the very basic, like 2 + 2 = 4. Oh, I got it right. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone, for our For You chat question is, have you been educated in a rural school? If so, what's your experience? If not, what's your idea of rural schools?
Good questions. I haven't been educated in a rural school. I went to schools in the city, in Taipei, in New Taipei City or Taipei City. So if I could imagine, I think maybe they have a lot of hands-on activities to do.
Right. Maybe a lot of arts and crafts and learning different techniques to do actually with your physical body, not just your brain, your mental body, right?
What else?
Well, for me, I wasn't really educated in a rural school. I was in a urban school, you could say, but we didn't have that many students, so it was, kind of comparable. My experience was, just like everyone else. I'm older than, you, and so my experience was well received, I'd say. I mean, there was some teachers that taught multiple subjects, so not just English. Maybe they teach English and history. So that was an option at our school that I went to because it was small. But my idea of rural school, I think of kind of like, farm kids, kids that are so far out from the cities that, a lot of times they have to be dropped off and their mom and dad might work the farm all day, and that takes all day. And so that's kind of my idea of rural schools. I think it would be fun, but also, long.
Yeah, and they can actually learn a lot of practical stuff.
Exactly. Things about nature and things how to do in everyday life that a lot of maybe urban city kids don't know how to do.
True.
All right, everyone. I would like you to, talk with your friends about that and your classmates to see what are their opinions about that. But that's all the time we have today for our For You chat and for our For You article. My name is Adam.
I'm Elsie.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review. Handful. There are only a handful of good restaurants in this area, and they're usually busy. Maybe we should go somewhere else. Responsibility. Being a country's president is probably the biggest responsibility a person could have. Provide. Fruits and vegetables are important because they provide your body with the energy it needs. Background. This university used to be only for the rich, but now it's open to people of all backgrounds. Education. Phil received a good education as he went to a great school and also learned a lot at home. Urban. Jason likes living in an urban environment because there are always many things to see and do.
智慧小补帖
Rural. Disadvantaged. Comprehensive. Counterpart.